Hello, and welcome to another episode of Comics with Stevey D. And this is episode 34, featuring The Thing. And I want to dedicate this episode to my colleague, Mr. Drennan, Bill Drennan, music educator and great guitarist, and the biggest Fantastic Four fan I know. Our first book is The Thing, #1 from 1983, penciled by Ron Wilson. In each one of these books, The Thing has a different look, and I'm going to point them out. If you look closely at the Thing's face, I call this one the Mushroom Head Thing. Here's another great book. Fantastic Four #161 from 1975. Rick Butler artwork. And this thing has a unibrow. That's kind of cool. Ben Grimm, the Thing from the Fantastic Four, was born on Yancey Street in New York City. This was a rough neighborhood on the Lower East Side. He was a scrapper, strong, tough, and earned a football scholarship where his teammates nicknamed him Grim Reaper. His roommate that year was Reed Richards, who would become one of the greatest scientific minds on the planet. Throw up a different book. This is Heroes Reborn #1 from 1997, The Return. Okay, you have to look in the bubble. And that is the split brow thing. Franklin's got him in I think a pocket universe. Looks like a magic crystal ball. That's interesting. Throw up another book. Like I said, his roommate was Reed Richards. After college, Ben joined the Air Force to become a pilot, test pilot, and eventually an astronaut. When in college, Richards told him of his dream to build an interstellar spacecraft. Ben told him that if he was successful, he would pilot the craft. When the day came to test the spacecraft, it passed through an intense cosmic ray storm, transforming the crew into Mr. Fantastic, the Human Torch, the Invisible Girl, and the Thing. Now this book is The Thing #1 from a limited series from 1992, artwork by John Byrne. And this I call the Scratchy Thing, because look how they drew his rock body texture with all the scratches and stuff on it. It's unique. Richards convinced the group to use their newfound powers to become the Fantastic Four. His new appearance of a rock man monster disturbed him greatly. He really never got used to it completely, even though Ben Grimm always was dealing with the internal struggle of a man trapped in a monster's body. He always manned up to help his teammates in their adventures, saving each other and the world many times. Now here is a modern version I just got, and this is Old Blue Eyes himself in Clobbering Time, #1 from 2023. And I call this one the helmet head thing. And this is variant cover number 2 by Brett Breeding and Dan Jurgens. And if you look at how far apart the rocks on his body are spaced, and there's his face right there. And what's interesting, there was 4 variants on this issue, and I have another variant of Clobbering Time. When he got into a fight, the Thing's battle cry was clobbering time, a phrase he used in the Yancey Street gangs with his older brother who had died. His uncle took him under his wing and straightened him out, and thank goodness they did. Now, the Thing's first appearance in comic books was Fantastic Four #1 from 1961. The artist was Jack Kirby and written by Stan Lee. What a duo. They started a whole bunch of books. Ben Grimm's powers were tremendous. He had strength beyond reckoning, durability, and willpower close to Captain America's. This is one hero you don't want to mess with, because you just might get clobbered. Now, I have this one open because I wanted to show you. Him and the Thing and the Hulk are friends. So they're sitting down at breakfast, just having a normal breakfast in like an IHOP or something. And this villain pops through. He looks like a combination of Iron Man and Dr. Doom. Well, the Thing flips his finger and knocks him across the room. But this guy had some powers, and he sent the Hulk and the Thing through a porthole. And they ended up in this land, this very majestic, peaceful land right here. And their leader said, "You guys have arrived at a bad time. We're about to be destroyed, blah, blah, blah." And the Thing couldn't pronounce their name, so he called them the Nub Nubs. So when they were peaceful, gentle people, and they were going to be destroyed by a legion of demon monsters. So the Hulk and the Thing go into battle, and they knock off a few of the minor demons at first. The Watcher's kind of telling the story. And so they get through that first battle, and then they have to face an incredible horde of monsters, the Hulk and the Thing. And so they battle a legion of demon monsters. And so they're doing their usual whooping, and they knock out this whole crew of bad guys. Here's a great picture of the Hulk and Thing fighting side by side, which normally they fight each other, but it's good to see. And here's the money shot, the big cover interior fold out kind of. It doesn't fold out, but that's the interior. Centerfold is what I was looking for. So they finally wipe everybody out, and they're sitting on a mountain of monsters. And they're beat up. So you can see the Hulk is beat up, and the Thing is beat up. And they get transformed, or transported, back into their land in the little Nub Nub Kingdom. They're waving them goodbye and wishing them happiness and stuff. So they end up back at the diner, and the Hulk's right here. This is funny. And he says, "I could eat." And the Thing says, "I need an aspirin." And so that was Clobbering Time. This is variant number 4. Let's see who this one's by. I think Smallwood is the name that's coming to mind. Yep, I think so. And with that, I have one more book to show. This is a picture of the Thing in his usual strongman pose. He's lifting a giant boulder that he's probably going to throw at some villain. And that's kind of cool. And that all the artists draw him differently, but everybody knows it's the Thing. So that episode was dedicated to my friend Bill Drennan. And before I go, I want to give a shout out to Bugs Comics, where I recently picked up some really good books at a very reasonable price. This guy's store is in O'Fallon, Missouri, and he specializes in back issues, and he had at least 50 long boxes right down the middle of the store of every comic you could think of. So 50% off sale is great, and it's on November 12th and 13th. So I'm going to try to make my way back up there so I can get me some back issues, which is my favorite thing to collect. So with that, I want to say thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe and do all those YouTube things. And I'll catch you next time, because I got a couple of shows in mind. One's a monster show, and one's an Iron Man Captain America duel show. So the next two shows are in my mind. I just got to dig out examples of what I need to get to show what I'm trying to communicate, which sometimes doesn't communicate very well. But with that, take care, enjoy your hobbies, and take good care of each other. Bye-bye.